Good Tuesday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to what's making news tonight, let's take a quick look outside our weather window from this afternoon. And oh my gosh, does it get nicer than today and early April? Lots of blue sky out there, just wispy high clouds, really not much to obscure the sunshine. We saw plenty of that as we looked down at the Wenatchee Valley from our cross camera up on Wenatchee Heights. And yeah, temperatures got well into the 60s today, and I hope you had a chance to enjoy it because things are really going to change as we get into Wednesday and Thursday. Might even see 5 to 9 inches of snow in Stevens Pass tomorrow night. Light rain to the east of that, not so much for us here, but then we'll see plenty of wind on both Wednesday and Thursday and cooler temperatures. We'll talk more about that coming up a little bit later on. And now here are a few of the stories that we're following for you tonight. Moses Lake police say a 26-year-old Centralia man was arrested Sunday after a witness reported seeing him pull a woman into his vehicle in Moses Lake and then assault her. A Palisades man convicted of child molestation in Douglas County 2 years ago has won a new trial. And it was a close encounter of the second kind for a 63-year-old Soap Lake man and Grant County Canine Chewbacca early Friday morning. But first, our top story tonight, a Wenatchee man serving 16 years for drug trafficking and assault failed today to have his sentence in the drug case overturned. 46-year-old Modesto Bravo Gonzalez Jr. claimed detectives with the Columbia River Drug Task Force illegally recorded his conversations with a criminal informant in 2017 in order to arrest him on charges of heroin and unlawful firearm possession. But the State Court of Appeals ruled today the wire recordings were properly authorized by a Chelan County judge. However, it did reverse one of his many convictions on a charge of maintaining a drug dwelling. Aside from his drug conviction, Bravo was also serving time for a 2017 assault in which he and an accomplice stormed into a Dryden home and shot a man in the leg. Moses Lake police say a 26-year-old Centralia man was arrested Sunday after a witness reported seeing him pull a woman into his vehicle in Moses Lake and assault her. Prior to that incident, Brandon Jones reportedly was assaulting the same woman at a Moses Lake motel when two men intervened and beat Jones up. The witness to the second alleged assault kept Jones' vehicle in sight until officers located it in the 1000 block of North Stratford Road where he was arrested. Police say in addition to unlawful imprisonment and assault charges for the incident with the woman, Jones faces felony threats and malicious mischief charges for threatening to kill the officer who was taking him to the Grant County Jail and, despite being handcuffed, pulling down his pants and defecating in the back of that patrol car. Meanwhile, a Palisades man convicted of child molestation in Douglas County 2 years ago has won a new trial in what the Court of Appeals calls a serious case of prosecutionatory misconduct. The decision overturns the conviction of 71-year-old James William Cook Sr., who's been in prison since 2019, serving a 14-year sentence. The higher court said Deputy County Prosecutor N. Smith Hagopian made improper arguments during trial, disparaged the defense counsel, and used Cook's refusal to answer police questions during the investigation to suggest his guilt to the jury. Appellate Judge Robert Lawrence Berry wrote, quote, "It is an understatement to say that Cook did not receive a fair trial," unquote. Hagopian is an experienced defense attorney who joined the Douglas County Prosecutor's Office in 2019. Well, it was a close encounter of the second kind for a 63-year-old Soap Lake man and Grant County Canine Chewbacca early Friday morning. Soap Lake police say an officer spotted Gregory Ewing on Road 2 Northeast about 2:20 a.m. driving a vehicle with the registration that had expired back in 2015. Police say Ewing first led Officer Robert Geets on a 9-minute vehicle pursuit before he pulled into a resident in the 20,000 block of Road B5 Northeast and fled on foot. Shortly after, Grant County Sheriff's Deputy Nick Overland arrived with Chewbacca, who quickly located Ewing. Unlike a January encounter with Chewbacca, Ewing immediately surrendered this time. In that January incident, Chewbacca subdued Ewing after finding him hiding in a field. Ewing was arrested for attempting to elude a police vehicle, no valid operator's license, resisting arrest, a felony warrant, and failure to renew his vehicle tabs. Coming up next, a drive-through COVID-19 vaccination clinic will be held in Kashmir this Saturday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Hillary Franz was in Wenatchee yesterday to launch a new program called Wildfire Ready Neighbors. And the Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife will be burning about 500 acres in the Colocum State Wildlife Area this month as part of a prescribed burning effort in 7 areas of eastern Washington. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
It's estimated that 1/3 of Americans do not have a financial plan. At D.A. Davidson, their advisors are working to change that because they understand the importance of planning for the future. At D.A. Davidson, they believe in partnering together to build a strategy tailored to your needs. They spend the time and have the knowledge to help keep your financial future on track. Let D.A. Davidson Financial Advisors of Wenatchee put the strength of advice to work for you.
Are you a take charge kind of person? Consider a career as a health unit coordinator. You'll work to keep health facilities running efficiently by coordinating medical providers, patients, and departments. The Charter College Certificate in Health Unit Coordinator program can get you up to speed on basic patient care, health records management, health and safety procedures, and medical billing. And the 10-month online program includes a computer you keep. Get started at chartercollege.edu, where we work to get you to work.
I'm Dr. Wayne Latimer. I'm a chiropractic physician. I have postgraduate certifications in both whiplash, trauma, and rehab, as well as sports medicine. The location is great. The light and the visibility, the 17-foot ceilings are fantastic. You can go into a lot of clinics, and it's very clinical. People really like the spa environment, so my whole premise was take a spa environment, add the very serious rehab, and give people an enjoyable way to get better over time.
Welcome back. In another news, a drive-through COVID-19 vaccination clinic will be held in Kashmir this Saturday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. After registering online, participants will receive the 1-dose Johnson & Johnson vaccine at Riverside Park. The Chelan Douglas Health District said they've been working diligently to extend access to the vaccine, with more such clinics planned in outlying communities in Chelan and Douglas counties. Registering to get the vaccine is a one-step process now. Eligible people can sign up online at prepmod.doh.wa.gov or by calling 509-886-6487. Public Lands Commissioner Hillary Franz kicked off a statewide effort to fireproof Washington homes yesterday with a visit to Wenatchee. The elected head of the Department of Natural Resources inaugurated Wildfire Ready Neighbors. That's a program to create wildfire defensible space around homes in Chelan, Okanagan, and Spokane counties. It provides free resources for residents to do just that. The campaign began Monday with a community fire assessment and cleanup in South Wenatchee's Boudry Street neighborhood.
Whole goal here is we have over 2 million homes in Washington State alone that are at risk of catastrophic fires. The kinds of fires that we saw that completely devastated the community of Malden. And too often we feel that when wildfire is at our doorstep, at our neighborhood, there's nothing we can do. The fact is we can be taking steps today to make our homes, our neighborhoods, our communities more resilient to these fires. And frankly, it's never too late to start, and it's never too soon to start. Wildfire season is upon us already. We're urging every single home to take action to make their home more safe to wildfire. What that means is creating defensible space. We just learned over the last year how to create 6 feet of defensible space around our bodies with the pandemic. Now what we need to do is create that 6 to 10 plus feet around our home.
And before we take you to break, the Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife will be burning about 500 acres in the Colocum State Wildlife Area this month as part of a prescribed burning effort in 7 areas of eastern Washington. In addition to the burn outside Wenatchee, Fish and Wildlife will also have a prescribed burn plan for about 248 acres in the Methow Wildlife Area outside Winthrop. Fish and Wildlife says burning off accumulations of vegetation and logging debris reduces the risk of high-intensity wildfires this summer. The exact dates for the burns are dependent on weather conditions. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Please stay with us.
It's the huge grand opening of Click It RV in Moses Lake. Click It RV and the RV manufacturers have joined together to offer huge incentives and savings.
You guys gotta beat the spring rush and get in here now.
Everything is coming up zero, with zero down, zero payments for 90 days, zero worries, lifetime warranty, and zero for a solar panel with any RV purchase. It's a 000 grand opening going on now at Click It RV in Moses Lake. And get into Click It RV for parts, service, new and used during this huge grand opening sale.
Be a winner like me and get the Click It RV.
As our students return to learn, the need is great for all positions in the Wenatchee School District. Can you see yourself in these hallways? Or helping support students? Maybe you're an excellent office administrator or educator, or you have a love of sports. The Wenatchee School District is now hiring all levels of positions. You can make the difference in the life of a student and in your own life. Apply now at wenatcheeschools.org.
Bring the whole family up to Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house in historic downtown Chelan. Applewood smoked brisket, street-style tacos, and our award-winning barbecue rubs and sauces. Our meals pair perfectly with our exciting lineup of craft ales, made right here in Chelan. We've got room for big groups, or give us a call for catering. So grab the kids and check out the fun at Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house located in the heart of Chelan.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. Well, beginning next Monday, trees will begin coming down in Wenatchee's Washington Park. In fact, over the course of 2 weeks, all the trees between the sidewalk and streets will be removed on Wilson, Washington, and Miller. In tonight's feature story, Wake Up Wenatchee Valley's Dan Kuntz talked with Wenatchee Parks Recreation and Cultural Department Director Dave Erickson about why the trees are being removed and future plans for trees in the park.
And you know, each tree here has a different story to tell. We've got some that have infestations, we've got some that are just the action from the storms breaking the tops out or being pruned so the tops are out, have created rot issues. So you name it, and you can find it in the trees in here. And we do, it doesn't even take a major wind event anymore to have tops break out. It's pretty a regular occurrence. Some of these should have been gone maybe 20 years ago, but we've been able to nurse them along this entire time. So what we're gonna do is have a contractor come in. We're working with the PUD to remove all the trees in between the sidewalk and the street, all the way around the park. And then we're gonna be replanting similar to what we have done along Wilson Street with new trees, and they'll be on the park side of the sidewalk. So that way then they have a better opportunity to establish and won't have as many challenges along the way. We'll have a variety of trees. One of the things that we're gonna do is diversify the species that we have in the park. So that way if a disease does come through, it won't wipe out all the trees. You know, you might see one or two, but it'll have a better chance of surviving in the long term.
Time now to take a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. And boy, I really hope you had a chance to get out and enjoy the beautiful day that we had today. Look at that, just a tiny little bit of snow still on the foothills of the Cascades, but with warm temperatures, boy, it doesn't take long for that to disappear. Beautiful day today as we look down from our cross camera. That's up on Wenatchee Heights, and Really nothing to complain about today. A little bit of a breeze, high temperature unofficially today. Very, very nice. 66 degrees. So far the warmest day we've seen so far in 2021. 60 is our normal high temperature for this time of year. 39 is where we started the day, and that's right on track for our normal low temperature. Beautiful. Back in 1977 for the second day in a row, our record high. This date, it was 79 degrees back then. 2011, our record low year, where it was 30 degrees. Sunrise this morning, 6:29, and the sun will set tonight at 7:38. As we get you into your Wednesday hump day forecast, big changes over the next 3 days. We'll get into that a little bit more in a second, but here's what we're looking at for temperatures tomorrow, and they will be cooler. Lower to mid 60s in the Columbia Basin, 63 in Ephrata, only upper 50s back in the Wenatchee Valley for high temperatures. 53 is all in Lake Wenatchee, and 59 the high tomorrow in Lake Chelan. Tonight we can expect partly cloudy skies. It will be mild overnight tonight as well. There is an area of low pressure that's really brewing up in British Columbia, and that could slide some moisture through us. Not so much tonight, but as we get into Wednesday, boy, is this thing going to have a lot of wind associated with it. Most of it will slide into northwestern Montana, but right here, that's the wind we expect for tomorrow, about 10 to 20 miles an hour. Increasing clouds throughout the day. There will be a little bit of shower activity right along the Cascades, and then as we get to Thursday, it will be sunny, but still a little bit breezy. Nothing like we'll probably see on Wednesday. Thursday, it just will be a little bit chilly with high temperatures once again only in the mid to upper 50s. And as we end our work week on Friday, we'll start off with mostly sunny skies and then increasing clouds throughout the day. And by the time we get into our evening hours, a 50% chance of rain. This is about 10 o'clock Friday night, and that's what we do expect the precipitation to fall here in the valley. For Saturday then, kicking off our weekend, partly cloudy, but as this storm system moves away, a strong northwesterly flow will come into our area, and that'll keep us on the cool side Saturday with highs only in the lower 50s. And then by Sunday, high pressure begins to build back in, so the end of the weekend looks okay with warmer temperatures. We're talking mainly still upper 50s for Sunday, but by Monday, sunny, and we'll see seasonably mild temperatures, and that means temperatures in the low 60s. And guess what? Monday will also be the start of a warming trend where by the middle of next week, we could be talking about temperatures in the 70s. More on that as we make our way through the week. Let's take a look now at the 7-day forecast. Beautiful, mild overnight, low tonight of 40 degrees. Remember, blustery tomorrow, increasing clouds and windy, 58. Not quite so blustery with a little more sunshine on Thursday, but we're still going to see plenty of wind with a high of 56. Rainy late in the day Friday and 59. Saturday will be our coolest day at 53, but by the time we get to Monday, sunny and warmer with high temperatures then around normal at 62 degrees. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Hi, Stephen DeVilbiss here, Branch Manager of Beneficial and Home Care. We are an equal opportunity employer and we do not discriminate in employment or services. It is our mission to maximize our clients' physical health and sense of mental well-being while remaining in the comfort of their home. We are currently seeking professional caregivers who share our mission to help our clients live safely and comfortably at home. Call Beneficial and Home Care. Schedule your interview today. 509-663-7900.
Traditional values and innovation in honoring the life of each family we serve is part of the ministry of Heritage Memorial Chapel. Our staff is committed to walk with your family with compassion through this time of grief. We are here to help and here to serve, the right kind of help when you need it most. Heritage Memorial Chapel.
With TV advertising, what we want to do is more deeply connect with the community.
People spot me in different parts around North Central, Costco and Wenatchee, say, hey, you're the pizza guy. And so they wouldn't know that if it weren't for the TV commercials we've done.
We've been here so long that people already know who we are and what we do, but to have that image flash on their television screen as opposed to just hearing it in the radio or seeing it in the newspaper, I just love the fact that we can actually put our finger on when a customer comes in and says, I saw your ad.
It's becoming increasingly difficult in this digital age to know where are your customers listening or watching, because I watch all the different channels that they watch too, like Cooking Channel, History Channel, and so it was wonderful to be able to be on there.
I would say that if you want to do business in Wenatchee, then you should connect with the people of Wenatchee, and there's no better way to do that than with NCWLIFE.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Tuesday to you. Well, not so happy if you're a Gonzaga fan. They drive for a perfect season with a national championship for the Gonzaga Bulldogs. Ran out of gas at the finish line last night, falling to Baylor 86-70 the final. Bears jumped out to a 21-6 lead in the first 7 minutes and set the tone for the night, converting 43% of their three-point shots and dominating with physical play in the paint. Gonzaga coach Mark Few says Baylor was by far the toughest team the Bulldogs faced all season.
Well, hey, it's a really, really tough one to end a storybook season on. But listen, Baylor just they just beat us. They beat us in every facet of the game tonight, and deserve all the credit. And obviously, we're all disappointed in here. But you know, as I told the guys, like, you know, you make it this far, and you're 31-0 going into the last 40 minutes of the season. There's absolutely nothing you should ever feel bad about. And they'll look back on this season as time passes as something just amazing and incredible. But it, again, just hats off to Baylor. They dominated us on both sides of the ball.
The Bears out-rebounded Gonzaga 38-22 for the game and were just physically dominant. Coach Few says Baylor's aggressive play was the difference.
Yeah, we just ran into a team tonight that was, you know, they were the aggressor, clearly. And so I think that put us back definitely on our heels on both ends. And look, I've been watching them all year and watched them last year, and I knew they were going to be a handful for us. Just those guards are so quick, and they can all get to their own shot. And you know, and they're obviously more athletic than we are up around the rim. But I thought, you know, we might be able to find some advantages too, and we weren't quite able to do that. And you know, I think we got it to 9 a couple times, and man, we did everything. We missed free throws. We, you know, have some tough turnovers, and you can't do that when you're trying to claw your way back in. And then all the while, you know, I kept checking our DER, and we were never consistently really able to get stops against these guys. So they deserve all the credit. They were terrific, and quite frankly, they were terrific this whole weekend here at the Final Four. I mean, they were on it. And, you know, sometimes it goes like that during the season when your team kind of ebbs and flows, and they were definitely hitting on all strides.
After 31 straight wins this season and not losing since February of 2020, Gonzaga finally lost a game. Senior Corey Kispert says, thankfully, it's a feeling he hasn't had many times in his career with the Bulldogs.
Kind of forget. You really do forget what it's like to lose. And every time it happens, it doesn't feel good. And thankfully, I've had, you know, not very many of them over my career, whether it's in the regular season or in the tournament. But I mean, when you come up against a team like that who's just firing on all cylinders for 40 minutes, it's really hard to compete with. So, yeah, you kind of forget, and it doesn't feel good. And I'm going to remember this for a long time.
Gonzaga finishes 31-1, just short of a perfect season, culminating in a national championship. So how does Kispert summarize this season?
There can be a lot of good that comes out of a bad situation. You know, if you kind of trace it back to, you know, March 6th or whatever last year when the whole thing canceled, it felt like there's a lot of bad things that could have, you know, derailed me and derailed us. But, you know, in life and in basketball, you know, joy doesn't come without a little bit of suffering. You know, you can't have one or the other. And it's about kind of dealing with those, you know, painful moments in your life and finding joy in those. And that's where, you know, real happiness comes from. And I'm so thankful for the way that the team handled adversity and handled suffering all year long. And, I'm definitely a better person because of, playing this year under the circumstances that we did, taking punch after punch, I guess, from the world. And, this team stood strong all the way through.
So Baylor wins its first ever national championship. Gonzaga will have to wait for a future season to try again. 86-70 the final as the college basketball season comes to an end. Well, turning to baseball, Mariners dropped to .500 on the young season with a 6-0 defeat at the hands of the Chicago White Sox last night at T-Mobile Park. Carlos Rodon and two relievers combined on a 3-hit shutout for the Chi Sox. Rodon went 5 innings, allowed just 2 hits, struck out 9. Meanwhile, White Sox hitters feasted on Justice Sheffield, who allowed 6 runs on 8 hits in 5 innings, struck out 5 and walked 2. Mitch Haniger got 2 of Seattle's 3 hits on the night, including a double. Manager Scott Servais says he knew Chicago would be tough coming into the series.
Not our night, that's for sure. Obviously, we got shut down offensively tonight. Not much going there at all. I thought Rodon had really, really good stuff. Really good fastball mixed into breaking pitches, and overpowered us at times tonight. With the fastballs he threw up in the zone. So. Tough night offensively. I thought Chef hung in there. Maybe not quite as sharp as we've seen him early on, but in games like that, when you don't have a lot of offense going, you need to keep it close, make the plays, and we let a couple innings get away from us there. So the man on third there, after we certainly JP distracted him on first base. He got the wild throw. We get him over to third and unable to get him in that inning. And then also we had the bases loaded. I think it was the next inning after that, and wasn't able to put anything there. So again, hitting with runners in scoring positions, the name of the game. Getting those big timely hits certainly helps, and didn't get it done tonight. But the White Sox have a good ball club. We knew that coming in to the series. They got power. They got power arms in their pitching staff. So we got to make some adjustments and get back after them tomorrow.
Two teams going at it again tonight. James Paxton makes his first start of the season after rejoining the Mariners. He'll go up against Lucas Giolito for the White Sox. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Eric. And finally tonight, the annual task of digging out the North Cascades Highway got started this week. The State Department of Transportation says it's working to dig out the snow that blocks off the highway between the Methow and Skagit valleys each year. The scenic North Cascades route offers too much avalanche danger to remain open in winter, and its reopening is always a big event for tourists and residents. Crews will work from both ends to clear the roughly 7 feet of accumulated snowfall, plus repairing damaged signs, pavement, and guardrails. The whole process usually takes about 4 to 6 weeks. Now let's check in with Dan Kuntz for a look at what's coming up tomorrow morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan?
Hey, thanks, Grant. Tomorrow for a Wednesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, my guest will be Leslie Freitag, the Executive Director of the Pybus Public Market, as we're now fully into Phase 3 and hopefully we'll stay there. Pybus is starting to ramp up a few of their activities. They got a lot of things planned for spring and right on into summer, including the return of Nick's Bricks. We'll talk to Leslie Freitag tomorrow on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Plus, we'll give you that cool and windy weather forecast and everything else you need to start your Wednesday. I will see you at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. We're live and we're local with Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Dan. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-NCWL. That's 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us, and have a great night.
Hey everyone, Fletcher and Amy Ellington here from Live It Up. Join us every week as we answer your questions on health, wealth, and relationships.
We're all about you creating a life that you love, so tune in to Live It Up.
At Washington Trust Bank, can't is a 4-letter word.
I think we should hire more people.
Doc, I'm late for a meeting. I'm thinking of starting my own practice.
Do it. Too much capital.
We need a warehouse.
I can't imagine how we do that.
We should knock that wall down and expand.
Do it. There's always another wall beyond the wall.
We believe you can do whatever you set your mind to, and we'll help you get there. Washington Trust Bank, privately owned, locally invested.